And we are gone live again. We are getting on it in 5 minutes. This track is 5 minutes long. It's called Wind Chime Madness. Check out the water vapor map over the US for those minutes. All right, I apologize for the delay. Here's the live playing of the song, by the way. All right, let's cut that out. I was looking at some interesting weather over the US here. So there's that, the water vapor map. All right, just a moment here. Just trying to look at the chat, folks. By the way, I wrote the word live in Leet Gamer language in the title of the video there. That's supposed to be L-I-V-E. All right, anyway, let me get this off a full screen so I can see what tabs I have. And that's not what I'm trying to look at. Here's a visible satellite over the U.S. We've got quite a low over there, over Louisiana. And if we've got any viewers down there in the Louisiana area, I suggest you check out lightningmaps.org because it is pretty active. If you're down there, you can put your location in. You will actually see the stroke of lightning before you before you hear the sound. So lightningmaps.org, check it out. But there's some interesting weather, and I also wanted to get a little sun update. So see what's going on there. Here's the latest magnetogram as that sunspot is decaying to the point where it's already not a sunspot as forecasted. 2737, no longer a sunspot. I'm sure it's been unnamed. And still some magnetic complexity, obviously. So, weakening in intensity. And let's look at the solar wind here. Since it'll never be now again. And let's skip to the next track. What is going on? There we go. It's loaded. Thank you, Noah. So we see the phi angle is stuck at around 343 degrees, that is. And we have a flatlined solar wind density there. 5.33 protons per cubic centimeter. A bit of a normal speed there, 472, slightly elevated. So check out some other data here. Now we have to cover some articles that we missed earlier. So the reason that this broadcast exists is because we are, thank you, we are trying to talk about some data not covered. Hey, look it, there was a B-class X-ray flare. See that? Tiny little B-class flare. Not really noteworthy, but magnetometer has topped out. KP has settled down to 2. Electron flux, nothing really too noteworthy. Returning to nominal levels. Charging hazards, not a thing. And the F2 layer is back to a more normal level. It was pretty highly charged earlier, and now it's getting back to normal. All right, let's look at the magnetosphere movies. as we should have a pretty steady, solid state situation going on with these. We'll just look at the density and the pressure. There's the density. Speaking of which, I'm pretty dense. I'm trying to let it sink in. How do you like that? For new viewers, if you're not familiar with the term magnetohydrodynamics, please get familiar. I just realized that I can't see the chat. So let me bring that up. And you will not be able to see it, but I should be able to see it. If everything works out, I'll be able to see it. Let's hope. All right, so there's the pressure. And we see some anomalies in the pressure there, actually, associated with the dusk side. Right up here in the left pane. Right there. So that's a little odd. We'll let that play through. For those who are not watching live, and for those not watching live, hit pause if at any point you want to see what's going on here, because you can't request this data from you Michigan. This data is, you can only view it if you're able to view it at the time. And I'm trying to get into my own chat. You can only view it if you're able to view it at the time. I'm going to pull it off. I think I accomplished it. There we go. All right, let me get to the chat. Thor, is that me? Yes. Kicking it live with Smash. Yeah. Hey, welcome Music Well, Chrome Air, Dusty Plasma, Eden Scent, smAsho staff. You better be here, smAsho staff, or you're fired. Texas Rancher. Cheers. And Ula Udrup. Still officially my favorite name, the most Viking name of all. Ula Udrup. Ula Udrup. That's the best. Oh, hold on. We're receiving an interruption. Secret Service, something.
And we hear that you've been using some key samples for your own personal advantage.
They're accusing us of copyright infringement, I think. Must be scammers, because it's all original, folks. It's all original.
Good day.
Good luck with that. All right, what's next? Oh, another answer machine message.
If you don't recognize
some drunk
coming over to buy beef, then
I don't know what this is about, folks.
Back here at my house, very, very shortly, so that we can change it. Otherwise, I'm gonna come over, and you can't do anything about it.
I don't know what that was all about. Some maniac. Anyway, here's some more music, since that was horse manure. It took them 10 years to get me to say manure, folks. 10 years. Oh, geez. Just kidding. Didn't really take 10 years. All right, so trying to get to the comments here. If you see me in there in the chat, that's me. Here are the geospace magnetic ground perturbations. First from the poles. And here's the global view. We got 8 of the hours today, folks. 8 of the hours. Yes. Let me know how the volume sounds to you. Yes, yes. South Louisiana, exactly. That's what I was looking at. So let's head to Windy, because that was what I wanted to look at. Actually, the NASA GOES. Check this out. So let's go back, and we'll look at that area on the visible. There were some great, and we are way too zoomed in. I don't know what that's all about. Let me turn that down a bit. That too out of control? Oh. All right, thanks, y'all. Appreciate that. All right. Let me go to a medium zoom here instead of a high zoom, because there's some violent weather going on there, folks, in Louisiana. Jeez. Y'all are getting hit. Anyway, that's what's going on in the visible. I hope that helps you out. Let me zoom into the max. Pretty much the whole state there. Cheers. That's about the best view you can possibly get. The resolution on this satellite is 2 kilometers. So there is one very fast-moving cloud. If you look right here, look at this particular spot, and also you see radio frequency lines right here. Look at that. See those lines right there? See the arrow? That is clear electricity in the sky. Look at that. You can see the outline of the entire magnetic bubble right there. I'm not making it up. I'm pointing it out. There's like a sudden jet of condensation right in this area. So the most violent portion will be right around here, right around north central Louisiana. Anyway, let's look at water vapor, because it'll give you an even better idea of what's going on. We'll check out that same spot. That's your convergence zone right there. What a zoom. Anyway, it's better to know than to not know, right? If you need a kayak or to wear a helmet or to put on a life vest, prefer to know than to not know, I'd imagine. I don't know what's next on the list. A very old song from 2001. And I'm trying to view the chat right now, folks, but the phone is on a permanent... There we go. All right, do we have any requests on different views of things like atmospheric weather and stuff like that? Good night, Ola Udrup. All right, let's look at some images of the sun here while people are watching, as I can show you some interesting stuff. Let's do a custom run. How about just today? Latest data, almost 1 full day. And we'll go straight to 94 angstroms. I feel like I can't be heard. There you go, 94 angstroms. That was not a subliminal message, folks. That was accidental. Oh, there we go. That's a nice view. Now, what I would definitely note is the shrinkage. And I don't mean George Costanza's genitals shrinking because he went in the pool. I mean the shrinkage of the solar polar north coronal hole. See that? Here's the south. See that? That's a holy hole right there. And that is a closing hole. So these are not features of an ultra doomsday solar minimum. Big hole, small hole. It's been happening for a while. So let it sink in. And keep in mind, don't forget the solar polar field reversals. And on that note, you may want to check out solon.info. It would be a very wise decision to do so, really. Now, there are a bunch of different graphs that you may not understand. And some of them I may not understand either. Actually, most of them I understand in all seriousness. Let's look at all of the solar cycles, 1 through 24. All right, I guess I have to cover the articles that I failed to cover this morning, because one of the most important things is the fact that the Parker Solar Probe is probably just coming out of its most recent perihelion. So it's the Parker Solar Probe, if you're not familiar, is the most advanced solar probe ever built by mankind and the fastest object ever built by mankind. It's already done its first run on the sun, and it should be just coming out of its second. And I want to get the right website here. This is a Johns Hopkins University project, and it was delayed for a long time because we didn't have the right materials to build the device. And then somebody figured out the way to make the heat shield correct, and they sent it. I believe the record is something like 250,000 miles per hour, but don't quote me on it because I haven't read up on this for quite a while. We're still waiting for the data from the first run. So we're very interested in the data from the Parker Solar Probe, and now we're getting the most new stuff that there is. So check it out at Johns Hopkins. We've got a new manager, project manager here, Patrick Hill. Cheers. So anyway, check out the site. This thing is on the Cygnus forecast. So if you look up the ISWA, you will be able to see where it's located by looking at the inner solar system. Let me just get the right one here. I don't look at this too much because it's a bit silly. Did it work? Oh, we're looking way out there. We're out by Pluto. Let's click on the first one and see what it shows us. Nope, it's all the way out to Pluto. It makes you feel spaced out trying to go through this data, right? All right, let's see here. Here's the ensemble. This will probably show it. Nope. It shows Spitzer, stereo A and B, and the inner planets. Page 3. What do we got here? You think they'd put the Parker probe on there, right? By the way, this next track is called Massive, Passive, and Elastic, which is what you should be. You should be made out of Laffy Taffy.
By Chang. By Chang.
And this is showing us data from 2018. So that was real helpful. Let's move on until I find the correct stuff. Sorry to give you such a horrifying example of what it's like looking through a bunch of government databases, but check out that domain, .gov, baby. Tax dollars at work. All right, Enlil velocity. This has got to... There we go. There's the Parker probe. Fantastic. And it's up to date.
Yeah, by Chang. Before give me a call, man. Later.
So anyway, the Parker probe is going through its most recent perihelion, and fare thee well, Parker solar probe. That's a fast mover if you ever saw one. Let me check the chat because it is time to cut this live stream. It is getting late. Some of us have to go to bed at 6 p.m. after all. There's a lot of gunfire on the song. I apologize if it activates your PTS. And we call it PTS on purpose because it's not a disorder. You're supposed to be stressed after trauma. So anyway, there you see the most recent perihelion of the Parker Solar Probe. Cheers. That was the main story we wanted to cover. There was some other stuff. I guess not India shooting down satellites, for goodness sakes. There's one about Facebook ignoring toxicity warnings, and YouTube ignoring toxicity warnings in favor of engagement. But who cares? They're going to censor you regardless of how toxic or non-toxic you are. Anyway.
Yeah, by Chang, before...
People keep calling me and leaving stupid messages, so I make songs out of the dumb voicemails they leave. I think I have more music, too. Let me see. I'll bet I can find something. This is one from Dr. Samir Afif. Here is Chocolate Cake, an original song not made by me, but one of my label artists. Produced, but not written by me. By the way, if you want to have an easy time navigating through your weather stuff, save favorites on AccuWeather.com. Windy works great too, but you just got to decide which website you want. You know, windy.com is great for your mobile apps. AccuWeather.com is great for your computer. I mean, if you're watching this stuff on a TV, you might as well be living in an ice cave. All right, it's basically Friday night for me. I know it's Thursday night, but we got to get the hell out of here. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. We're going to show up later and say more things, but there's a visible satellite of that spot, and there's a lot of turbulence in the atmosphere, baby. That is some FM frequencies coming out. Hall currents run the atmosphere, so I'm not sure if everything I've just said will be on a transcription someplace or not, but I don't really care. So in any case, when you're staring at celestial objects, don't drink it. If you drink, stare at celestial objects, but don't drive. And cheers.